Okay, we're going to be critiquing the speeches for 81N, and while I'm saying that, I want to go and check and make sure that that is in fact what I've got here, and do it right. Now, there's some things I need to say to you before we get started on this, and these are crucial, and for whatever reason, you're losing points by not paying any attention to what I say. Number one, you've got to do the discussion boards. You've got to hit the deadlines. Some of you are leaving points on the table by not doing the discussion boards. I'm taking a quick glance over here. There were a total so far of 60 points available in the discussion boards, and we range everywhere from 9 points to 60 points. So some of you are doing okay on that. Some of you are not responding to me, telling me you watch these videos. You're required to tell me that. I keep track of that. If you don't respond to me, that can affect your grade at the end of all of this. Some of you, one of you did not take exam number 2, and some of you still haven't done exam 3, but it's not due until Sunday night at 11:59. One person in the class did not do the second speech. One person in the class didn't do the first speech. Not doing the speeches guarantees you an F in this class. If you have a problem, you need to be calling me and talking to me about what your problem is, so we can get that. On June 8th, I sent out an email message that had all of the outlines of what each of your speeches was supposed to look like. It's the speech assignment. I've told you that you may find stuff someplace else in Blackboard or I don't know where that tells you other things than what I tell you. Read what I say. I'm in charge. It's what I say that counts. The points on the speeches are what I say the points on the speeches are. It's what's in the syllabus. So pay attention to that. Many of you went way over on the speech because I don't think you paid any attention to what I sent out. The length of this last speech was to have been 4 minutes. As I tell you often, 4 minutes means 3:45 to 4:15, and you'll be in the ballpark. All right. What else are you not doing? You need to send me your notes, your speech outlines, in the same email message. Don't send me 3 email messages, one with one outline, one with another outline, and one with the visuals. Everything you send me comes in the same message. Some of you are not paying any attention to what it says. It's mandatory to put on the subject line of all messages you send me. It's crucial that you do that. Also, make sure that your name is on every page of your critique and that you have of your notes, your outlines. Some of you aren't doing that, and then some of you are not labeling what outline it is. There's a speaking outline and there's a preparation outline. Don't make me guess what you intended it to be. It's pretty much that. Again, if you have any questions, call me in the office. I will be sending out an Excel spreadsheet with this, so when you get the message telling you to look at this, you will also have attached that message, a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, showing your latest class grades. I'm a little behind posting to Blackboard, so there are more points here than there probably are showing in Blackboard. Again, any questions, call me in the office. Let's move on. Don't forget to look up, if you don't have it, look up those June 8th. There's a speech assignment for every one of your speeches you have to do. All right, first up is Owl. Owl, you ran just a little bit short, and make sure I got the right thing here. On your pictures, when you're showing your audience on your pictures, you need to hold them up a little bit longer. You kind of like this, and it was gone. Give them a little chance to focus on the picture and see it. And in this, when we're doing video like this, for your audience, you can hold it like this. I don't care that the audience, you're showing them to the audience. You get it kind of in the corner of the picture. That's fine. Send me the copy as you did, and I will reference that, and I will assume the audience can see it very well. All right, you have a very good, your visuals were very good. You need to hold them up a little longer. You also need to label both of your outlines. You have just a little bit closer and just a little bit more headroom when you do this. You have a nice speaking approach You have a good presentation. Uh, need to talk a little bit, think a little bit about how long you hold something up for the audience to see. But overall, nice job. Next up is Jedi. Jedi, you have too much room noise, very hard to hear you, and you definitely have the wrong camera shot. The camera is panning, it's hard to see your eyes. You had no apparent notes, outlines that you're using in your speech. They weren't visible. That's why you have these. Occasionally it's nice to see a glance that you're actually using it. Don't try to memorize your speeches. Don't try to talk a speech without knowing it. You know, these notes are kind of your roadmap of how you get from one point to another point to another point. If you don't have it in front of you, then I assume that you're just making up what you're doing. All right, what else here? You had no audience. You've got to have an audience. You just dumped out at the end, so don't have any real quick. That's all, folks. Boom, and you're gone. Don't do that. Review how you closed your speech. And if you're not sure about what you're doing, give me a call. Next up is Beyonce. And Beyonce, you ran very short, so you want to make sure that you pay attention to what the length of the speech is supposed to be. At first, you had a very noisy room. What I suspect happened was the air conditioner turned off while you were speaking, but it was really hard to hear you. You have the wrong shot. The camera is way too far away. Your outlines are not labeled. You need to slow down a little bit. Don't go real fast. Remember the 5 things: pitch, pace, tone, volume, silence. Use them all. Don't try to get from this point to this point as fast as possible. That's not the purpose of this. Be conversational. Talk to us, not at us. Those kinds of things. Watch your vocalized pauses, the ums, the uhs, those kinds of things. Your camera is moving too much. It is not to move at all during your speech. See this shot? It's frozen. It's not going to move. The only way it'll move is if I go up and touch the camera. So make sure your camera person is not touching the camera while you are speaking. Next up is Forrest. This was, you had good outlines. You have a nice appearance. Thanks for doing that. You're shooting up into the picture. Nope. The composition is messed up. Your speech was way too long. You need to stand still. You appear to be reading kind of, you know, here's the camera here. And you see, notice you can tell I'm looking at you. You seem to be doing one of these things, and it's equally easy to tell that you're not looking at the camera. Maybe you're reading something up there because it appeared you were reading. So make sure that you do that. You need to look at me in this case, but in a real audience, you need to look at the audience. This was kind of hard to watch because you're not looking at me. It's like, okay, what's he looking at up there? It's very distracting. You drop some of your words where you get to a sentence, you go, don't do that. Strong at the beginning, strong at the end, and strong in the middle. You need to hear every single word you say. You're also not talking with me. You're kind of avoiding being conversational. What you're doing is coming off more like a lecture, so you want to work on that a little bit. Next up is Bubbles, and Bubbles, you ran exceptionally long. You have good outlines. The decals on the door behind you are distracting. You shot too close. You have too much headroom. Now you have a whole bunch of stuff in your speech. It's processed speech, but if you're assuming that I don't know what you're talking about, then don't use terms that I won't know what you're talking about. For instance, what's a pizza line? I'm thinking it's a line in the pizza somewhere. I have no idea, but don't make me guess. Be very specific. How much flour and salt? You didn't say. You just said put on the flour and salt. Okay, make sure I know what that is. You keep smiling like there's some kind of an inside joke going on between you and somebody in the audience or your camera person. That never will make it in a speech situation. Your audience always has to know that they have your exact attention. That you can't do that. What's a black line, or what black line? You mentioned that too. You docked the pizza. I don't know what that means. And so you need to listen to what you say, and then if you followed it literally, you'll find out that your instructions are very unclear, and for someone that's never done it before, it's even confusing. Can you see when you say things like this, you kind of see over your hands, so you want to make sure that your hands aren't getting in the way. You're far too distracted. There's a TV on in the background. I can hear it. You went too long. What's a paper board and what's a metal board? Board implies to me wood, so paper wood and metal wood. All right. Put the 2 cups of sauce in the middle of the pizza. I can see someone. I would do it because you didn't say pour it in the middle of the pizza. You said put them. So I have 2 cups of sauce. Bingo, there they are in the middle of the pizza, just like you said. You've got to think how the people that are listening will perceive what you're telling them. And I'm not talking about dumbing it down, but being aware of how it sounds to the person that's listening. And you had a very abrupt ending. All right, next up is Degsy, D-E-G-S-Y. I can't see your eyes for the most part of this speech. Timing was okay. You have a nice opening for this speech, and I kind of lose your name and topic that you are trying to work on at the beginning. You have good outlines. You're still shooting up into your face. Don't do that. You need more light on your face. How did you use your visuals in your speech? I need some way of knowing how they, I have your visuals. I have the sheets of paper here with your visuals on them, but I have no way how you did that. If it was a PowerPoint and you say, okay, next slide you can see. If it's something you're holding up, you'll see. In this picture, you see. And then when I have your pictures, I can be looking at what it is you're talking about. I have no idea where these pictures came in, how long they were up, and all of that. And that's crucial to know. Watch your vocalized pauses, the uhs, the ums, those kinds of things. And you had a very kind of abrupt ending, and you never want to say thanks so much. Don't thank your audience. Essentially, they didn't have any choice in being there. You recruited them. And you did a good job on establishing your credibility. So those are kind of the key points there. So those are the points that I want you to understand and work on. If you have any questions, call me in the office. Your Excel spreadsheet will be posted. It'll be attached to the email message telling you about this video, and make sure you take a look at that. All right, that's it for now. We'll talk to you next time.